Imagine this. You've spent your entire life giving your time, your love, and your sacrifices, expecting nothing in return but the hope that when the time comes, your family will be there for you. You've always put others first, especially your children, believing that your care and devotion would eventually be reciprocated. But what happens when, after all your sacrifices, your family turns their backs on you at your most vulnerable moment? What if, instead of care and concern, you're met with demands, manipulation, and cold indifference? What if the one thing you have left, your dignity, is put on the line, and you're left to decide whether to continue giving or finally live for yourself? This is the story of Anna, a mother who, after years of giving everything she had to her family, was left to confront the painful truth. It wasn't just about physical injury, it was about realizing that she had been emotionally drained by those she loved the most. When an accident left her in the hospital, expecting support and care, Anna was instead faced with an unexpected betrayal, not comfort from her daughter, Rachel, but demands for money and an ultimatum that threatened her very independence. Anna, who had always put her daughter and family first, was suddenly asked to sacrifice even more for them, or be cast aside. At that moment, Anna made a decision that would change her life forever. It was time to stop living for others and start living for herself. What happened when she finally stopped giving? How did she reclaim her worth and independence? This is a raw, powerful story about boundaries, self-respect, and the true meaning of love and sacrifice. It's a story that might just make you rethink your own relationships and whether you've been putting your happiness on hold for too long. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you might find yourself asking the most important question of all. Am I truly living for myself? Or am I just living for others? Let's dive into Anna's journey, a journey of reclaiming power, healing, and finding the strength to stand up for herself when no one else would. Anna had always been the backbone of her family. From the moment Rachel was born, Anna had made sure that her daughter had everything she needed. She worked tirelessly, raised Rachel with love and devotion, and made countless sacrifices to ensure that Rachel could have the life she deserved. There was never a moment where Anna questioned whether she was doing enough. She knew her role as a mother and believed that being there for her family was the greatest fulfillment she could ever have. But as the years went on, something changed. Anna's own needs began to fall by the wayside. Her daughter Rachel, now an adult with her own family, relied on Anna more and more. What started as an occasional request for help soon turned into a daily expectation. Anna didn't mind at first. She loved her grandson, Benny, and believed that caring for him was just part of being a good mother and grandmother. But the more she gave, the less she seemed to get in return. Rachel, who had once been the sweet, caring daughter Anna raised, now seemed to take her mother's sacrifices for granted. She rarely expressed gratitude for all that Anna did. In fact, she began to show more concern for her mother-in-law, Nancy, than for her own mother. Nancy would often come over, criticizing Anna's efforts and undermining her role in the household. While Rachel remained silent, it was as if Anna's presence had become nothing more than a convenience. An unpaid maid and babysitter, without any recognition for the emotional and physical toll it was taking on her. The turning point came one fateful morning when Anna took Benny out for groceries. In an instant, their world changed. A car lost control and came speeding through the intersection. Instinctively, Anna threw herself over Benny to protect him. She shielded him from the impact. But the force was too great. Anna was injured, and Benny scraped his face against the pavement. While Benny's injuries were minor, Anna's were more severe. Her back was severely hurt, and she was left lying in a hospital bed, in agonizing pain. But when Rachel and Nancy arrived, it wasn't Anna's well-being they were concerned about. Nancy stormed into the hospital room, not asking if Anna was okay, but immediately starting to berate her for not taking better care of Benny. "How could you let this happen?" Nancy screamed. "What kind of grandmother are you? If anything had happened to Benny, I would make sure you paid for it." Anna, who had just risked her life to save her grandson, was crushed by the accusation. She lay there, physically in pain and emotionally drained, wondering how her own family could treat her this way. Rachel, who finally arrived, barely acknowledged Anna's injury. Instead, she rushed to check on Nancy. asking the doctor about her mother-in-law's blood pressure, while never once asking about Anna's condition. Anna, whose body was screaming in pain, realized in that moment how little she mattered to her daughter. It was a bitter realization, one that felt like a stab to the heart. She had spent her entire life making sacrifices for her family. But now, in her most vulnerable moment, she was invisible to them. That night, as Anna lay in her hospital bed, she made a decision. She couldn't keep living this way, giving everything to a family that didn't even care about her. It was time to put herself first. But Anna's journey to reclaim her life wasn't going to be easy. As she recovered, the demands from her family continued. Rachel's concern wasn't for her mother's recovery, it was about getting Anna's pension card. Rachel demanded that Anna hand it over to pay for hospital bills and other expenses. "If you don't give me your pension card, you'll be sent away," Rachel said bluntly. The words hit Anna like a slap across the face. After everything she had done for Rachel, her daughter was now demanding money from her as if it was a given. Anna's entire life had been a sacrifice, and now her daughter was reducing her to nothing more than a source of income. That was the moment Anna reached her breaking point. She had always put her daughter's needs first, always worked to make sure Rachel was comfortable and happy. But now, Rachel's callousness made Anna realize something important: she had been living for everyone else. And in doing so, she had lost herself. No more. Anna knew what she had to do. Anna handed over her pension card to Rachel. But she wasn't as helpless as Rachel thought. As soon as the card was in Rachel's hands, Anna reported it lost. That card would become worthless, and Rachel's demand for it would be nothing but an empty threat. Anna had finally taken control of her life. But even after Anna had walked away, Rachel and her family didn't stop. They continued to manipulate and guilt Anna, using Benny as a pawn in their game. Rachel continued to spread lies about her parents, painting them as heartless and abandoning her and Benny. Anna didn't respond to the lies at first. She knew that trying to argue with Rachel was pointless. There was no reasoning with someone who was so blinded by entitlement and manipulation. But Anna wasn't going to stay silent forever. She recorded a video, telling the world her side of the story, setting the record straight for anyone who would listen. It wasn't about seeking sympathy, it was about reclaiming her truth. Anna's story is not just about a mother's sacrifice, it's about recognizing your own worth and knowing when to stop giving. It's about understanding that love isn't about constant self-sacrifice, but about respect and mutual care. Anna gave everything she had for her family. But in the end, she realized that her own happiness and well-being were just as important. By standing up for herself, Anna taught us all an important lesson. Sometimes, the hardest thing you can do is stop giving. But it's also the most empowering. Anna may have been hurt, betrayed, and manipulated, but she emerged stronger, wiser, and finally free to live her life on her own terms. As Anna finally walked away from her past, from the years of self-sacrifice, and from the manipulation that had drained her, she embraced a new chapter of her life. It wasn't an easy decision. After all, family is supposed to be a source of love and support. But sometimes, the people you love the most can also be the ones who take the most from you, emotionally, physically, and mentally. For Anna, the most courageous thing she did wasn't just walking away, but realizing that she deserved more. More respect, more care, more love, not from others, but from herself. Her story serves as a powerful reminder that we all have a breaking point. We all have the right to say, enough is enough. Too often, we get caught up in pleasing others, in giving until we have nothing left to give, and in forgetting that our own needs matter too. It's a hard lesson to learn, but a necessary one. So, what can we take from Anna's journey? The most important thing is that no one should ever be made to feel small or invisible. No matter how much you give, no one has the right to take advantage of you. True love and respect are reciprocal, not one-sided. And if you find yourself giving and giving without receiving the love and respect you deserve, it may be time to ask yourself, am I living for myself? Sometimes, the hardest decision is the right one. Anna's strength came from recognizing that she wasn't obligated to sacrifice her happiness for anyone. Not even her own child. She chose to prioritize herself, her well-being, and her peace. That is an act of immense courage, one that we should all strive to emulate when faced with similar situations. It's not about abandoning family or cutting ties, it's about drawing a line, setting boundaries, and making sure that you never lose sight of your own worth. Now, as Anna and her husband, Edward, continue to enjoy their peaceful life, free from the chaos of the past, they've realized something simple but profound. Life is too short to live for others at the cost of your own happiness. They've found solace in each other, in the quiet moments, and in their new beginning. And as we reflect on Anna's story, let it serve as a call to action for all of us. If you're someone who has given too much, someone who has been made to feel like you don't matter, know that you have the power to change your situation. You deserve respect, love, and happiness, just as much as anyone else. Never let anyone, not even your own family, strip you of that. If Anna's story resonated with you, if you've ever found yourself in a similar situation, don't stay silent. Share your experiences in the comments below. Let us know how you've learned to set boundaries and prioritize your own happiness. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to this channel for more stories of empowerment, self-worth, and courage. Click the bell icon so you never miss a new video that might just help you along your own journey. Thank you for watching, and remember, you deserve to live for yourself. Your happiness is not something to be negotiated, and your peace is priceless. Let's all live with the strength that comes from knowing our worth.